Hey everybody, Goosebumps for Dummies back at it again with another video, this time talking about Escape from the Carnival of Horrors. Now this is the only GYG book that is, just starting off as a GYG book to get a sequel. We're not talking about Return to Terror Tower and Revenge of the Body Squeezers here. No, this is the only GYG book to get a sequel. And also it is the only GYG book to have the cover art done by Tim Jacobus. Pretty awesome, it looks great. So this is the first GYG book in the Goosebumps Give Yourself series. And, is it a banger? That's the question on everybody's minds, and I'll be answering that with my opinion today. And, drop a like, I guess. I don't fucking know. Let's just get to it. And now for the blurb. Take a ride, if you dare. Late one night, you and your friends visit the old fairgrounds. They're putting up rides and booths for an annual carnival. But this year, things look really different, really odd, really scary. The place is lit up by 100 fiery torches, and spooky music is coming from the main tent. Then you meet Big Al, the creepy carnival manager. He's invited you to test some of the rides. Will you brave the terrifying supersonic space coaster? Risk the horrors of the reptile petting zoo? Slice through the oily waters of Booger Bog, or confront the evil snake lady? Your choice is yours in this scary Goosebumps adventure. Back over 20 super spooky endings, the usual. Without giving anything away, as per usual, this book is definitely a banger, and it's one of the better GYGs I've read thus far. It ain't the best, and I wouldn't even probably put it in top 5, maybe? I don't know how many I've actually read, definitively. I know it's, in the 15-20 range. But either way, yeah, this is definitely not the best one, but it's definitely one of the better ones, because some of these GYGs can miss, sort of, or aren't really 8 out of 10s. They're certainly in, a higher rating status. None of them are, 4 out of 10s or lower, I think. From memory, at least, on my rating scale. But, still, this is just one of the better GYGs, and it's definitely a good way to start the series, but it has its faults. Starting off with my upsides, I will immediately point this out. This GYG is a little different from the others. Not game mechanic wise, it's just that this one seems to be a little bit more all over the place. The setting of a carnival is barely even relevant in the story sometimes. Sometimes you're literally in fucking an outer space setting, or you're in a crocodile pen. It's what the fuck is going on? And then you're, running down the hallway with a goblin or something. I believe there was one like that. Or, you're in a cage with a snake lady. Yeah, what the fuck? This story is, extremely all over the place. And that is gonna be a downside, trust me. I will have my issues with that. I'll get to that later, of course. But still, this one is just very refreshing from other GYGs. It's not like them all. Still, it is very experimental in this aspect, with it being super out of pocket sometimes, out of nowhere, just random shit happens, but I still enjoyed it. It's nice and different from other GYGs, where it's always, oh, yeah, we're in this, Tiki Island-esque cave, oh, we're on an island, obviously there's gonna be caves, oh, we're gonna be in water, we're gonna have island-like things, but in this book, we have random shit, like I said, outer space. There's, I think, a little segment involving that. Yeah. Very different. This book is also pretty dang fun. That's obviously a huge quality for GYGs. They're always really, really fun. And they're definitely a time consumer, to be fair, but they're a fun time consumer. The characters in this one are alright. Usually it's the friend characters, but I like Big Al, and some of the villains you can come across, very interesting. And some of the endings in here, one in particular, is some of the most brutal shit I've seen in Goosebumps. And one in particular, like I said, this one is very, very brutal. It may or may not involve you getting shot out of a fucking cannon and being launched out of the carnival. It wouldn't be very fun to land, to say the least. It's going to be a red, sticky mess. Gross. But still, very, very awesome read. Very fun, very experimental in some good ways, with it being the setting really changing a lot throughout the book. And some great endings here and there, for the most part. And yeah, it's just a very, very good GYG story. So for my downsides, this is obvious. The experimentalness of the book is not that great. I feel when it jumps to all over the place shit, it's kind of dumb, I'd even say. It's just, what the fuck? We're jumping in one storyline and we're jumped into another by accident. I believe we're going to see the Snake Lady, and then all of a sudden we're about to be put into a giant tent to play in a game with Big Al. It's like, holy fuck. I know GYGs are known for that, but this one, it has a lot of it, I feel, and it's kind of hard to follow at times, too. Besides that, though, obviously all GYGs have their bad endings. I don't really like every ending in this book. I believe there was like 4 or 5 I didn't really like in here. I believe there's like 25, 22, 23, around that range amount of endings. And yeah, of those endings, 5 of them, like I said, are roughly not that great, or I disliked them, or even hated them. I'm not quite sure. But either way, yeah, definitely not all the endings here are that great. That's common in GYGs. It's almost pretty much a given, because all GYGs pretty much have bad endings. I mean, if you have 20 different unique-ish endings, at least from each other, at least 20, of course. Some of these even have like 30 or 40. I know there's one GYG book with 40. We'll probably review that in like December. Yes, there's bound to be some bad endings. So, but ramble sesh out of the way there. This is a very, very fun GYG nonetheless, even if it is experimental in some wrong aspects and it has some bad endings. So let's get to my rating. And my rating for the book? 8 out of 10. Very, very, very solid GYG. It's very fun, very even intense at some parts, because there's some very awesome sequences in here, and cool villains. I even like Big Alley is pretty interesting. The setting change being rapid is also a downside, as well as being an upside, because not only is it refreshing, it can actually be a little hard to follow. So, I quite liked a lot of stuff in the book, but it has its faults, and I still recommend it nonetheless. 8 out of 10. Very, very, very good. I'd even say great GYG story. That's going to conclude this book review. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.